This is a story of vision, of success, and most of all, obsession. And it starts with this man, Charles Povey. Think of him as the Richard Branson of the early 18th century, a visionary, innovator, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, rising from the ashes of the Great Fire of London. So began the journey of Povey and RSA. While many people let the world pass them by, Povey had immense curiosity. He loved new ideas, new technology, and this was the age of ideas big and small. From steam power to the telescope, to champagne and the light bulb. Povey had his ideas too. He wrote 40 books, from philosophy to business and politics to astronomy. Povey wasn't a shy man. Far from it. He liked to shout out his ideas. He even started his own newspaper to promote them, the British Mercury, which went on to become one of the leading papers of its day. Above all else, Povey was determined to make things better, and he was in the right place for it. As the ashes settled around London, a new city had emerged, and a sense of progress filled the air. This was the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Changes were happening to Povey's city that would go on to transform the entire world. Some saw this as a threat and hid their head in the sand. But not entrepreneurs like Povey. They saw the opportunity. Every day it seemed there was a new scheme being proposed by some new bright spark. Povey was no exception. Most of his ideas didn't take off. But like the best entrepreneurs, he kept on trying until he found something that worked. He tried to start a parcel delivery service, 150 years before its time. He invented a fire extinguisher that, well, kind of worked. Tried to build a self-playing organ that didn't work. And being a coal merchant didn't work out either. But he never gave up, and then finally he found it, starting his first insurance company. Povey's company was based on the fundamental belief that insurance was needed to protect people and to make things better if things went wrong. He and his friends had experienced the distress caused by the Great Fire, and Povey was determined that never again would the people of London have their livelihoods burnt to a cinder. Others tried doing the same, and many insurance companies were set up at this time. But none lasted the course like Povey's. Povey's Sun Insurance survived because he kept thinking of ideas to make things better for his customers, like offering insurance, not just on houses, but on contents and movable goods, a new concept at the time. People thought he was mad. No one had insured contents or goods before, but his idea took off. Povey had another idea: take insurance out of London to the rest of the country. But Povey knew that he couldn't do this alone, so he gathered his team in Cause's coffee house next door to St. Paul's. This teamwork paid off, and in a caffeine frenzy, the Sun Insurance Company was born. Modern insurance had now arrived, and Charles Povey was at the heart of it. This was a business based on trust, the commitment. Policyholders put their money into a chest. If someone suffered a loss, they would be recompensed. Every policyholder was given a promise, and for Povey's customers, this commitment was in the form of this: on every building. Povey made money from insurance, quite a lot in fact, but there was more to him than money. He thought of his legacy. He wanted to leave the world in a better place than when he found it. He did this through protecting his customers and also through his work for London's poor. He became a major benefactor to charity and promoter of charitable schemes, from supporting widows to helping boys get apprenticeships. Doing all this good must have served him well. Povey lived a long and full life, eventually leaving this world at the grand old age of 92. But that wasn't the end of the story. True to form, he thought of others around him, leaving substantial amounts to the poor of London in his will. While Povey is long gone, today, 303 years later, his company is still thriving as RSA, our company, the oldest insurance company in the world. Like Povey, we too live in a time of great change. The business talk in coffee shops may be different, but it's no less radical. Globalization, big data, new media, and above all else, unprecedented invention and competition. Companies that are alert to these changes and see them as opportunities rather than barriers, and companies that stand out for customers are the ones that will succeed. Those that don't will struggle or disappear completely, no matter what their size or how long their heritage. To help RSA win today, we've been inspired by Povey to create our new customer obsession and purpose. Achieving this isn't about a small step up in gear. It's about one of the biggest changes in our history. And there's something else we're taking from Povey. Like him, the best brands have clear values and personalities. They make it 100% clear what they stand for and what they don't. They understand that marketing and logos can only take you so far. What matters is whether leaders and people in that company act in line with the brand. And most importantly, how this translates into how customers experience the brand. In 2008, we introduced the brand beliefs. They were a good step, but they were too broad and not clearly defined. There were few consequences, good or bad, for living up to them, or not.
So, we're moving things on. From now on, instead of the beliefs, we'll have new expectations, developed with input from employees across the group, and designed to give us direction to deliver our obsession. There are 5 of them.
Be curious, because we know that improving our products and services for customers starts with seeking their feedback and insight, and listening very carefully, as well as seeking ideas from both inside and outside of RSA.
Shout out and make it better. Because not only do we need to listen, we also need to shout out loudly when things are wrong. Take action to put things right, and give customers the service they want and expect.
Keep your commitments, because doing what we say when we said we will is at the heart of great service and how we'll drive change. Without this as a firm foundation, we simply won't get it right for customers.
Be team-spirited, because collaboration is our greatest source of competitive advantage. By sharing with others and building with others, we won't just improve for some customers, but for all our customers, everywhere.
And finally, like Povey, be you and big-hearted, because this is at the heart of what makes RSA special. Warmth, empathy, and showing we care to customers and colleagues and the communities we work in. Always thinking the best, showing positive intent, and believing that we can make a difference is at the core of this.
Underneath each expectation will be a clear definition of what we expect and what we don't. And for leaders, there will be more. Our people will look to you to guide them, and you will be critical to creating the culture we need. So, as well as people expectations, we'll have leader ones as well. We'll be starting the work to create these with you tomorrow. So, going forward, we'll have all of this: a clear ambition, a clear obsession, and clearly defined expectations. Our challenge now is whether we live them and really act upon them. Do we really hold our people to account, or will they just remain words on a page? And most importantly, will we hold ourselves as leaders to account? In every working day, there will be moments that matter, some big, some small. Do I recruit this person? How do I deal with this claim? How do I reward this leader? Do I approve this product? Making the right decision based on our obsession and expectations is the key to the next chapters in RSA's history. This is our challenge: to make this a reality, to make this man proud, and to protect our legacy for the next 300 years.